Hi, dear valuable students. You are welcome back to Edubbey Global Solution. What I will be teaching you today is chapter 1 of your syllabus, and that is hardware and software. Hardware and software. Now, when we say hardware is a physical component of a computer system. Examples are mouse, keyboard, microphone, speaker, and some any other devices you all know, even including headphone. We do have a lot of hardware devices. Now, if anybody asks you what is an hardware, you say that hardware is a physical component of a computer system. Excellent. Now, what about the program run in a computer system? We call it software. The keyword here is program. The program which runs inside the computer system, we call it software. So don't forget that. Now, if you know that, let's move to something else. So I have one quick activity for you here. When we say the physical parts of the computer system, which are found outside the CPU, we call it external hardware because it is outside. So then the physical part of a computer system which are found inside the computer, inside the CPU, we call it internal hardware. From here, you can easily know that we have two types of hardware. One is external hardware, which is actually found outside the CPU. The other one is internal hardware, which is found inside the CPU case. Now, if you understand that, then let's move. From here, let's say internal hardware and external hardware. We do have a lot of them. We do have a lot of external hardware. We do have a lot of internal hardware. Speaker, what do you think? Is it found inside the CPU or outside the CPU? Of course, it is found outside the CPU. Joystick is an external hardware. Keyboard, external hardware. Sound card. When you open your computer, your laptop, or if you are using a desktop, if you open the CPU, you will see that sound card is inside it. All right. The same thing with hard disk, but mouse is not inside the CPU. RAM, random access memory, is inside. Network card is inside. Projector is outside. Scanner is also outside. Processor is inside. And finally, video graphic card is also inside. So from here, you can easily know what are the internal hardware and external hardware. All these are internal hardware, while all these are external hardware. We still have a lot of examples for that. Now, from here, let's quickly talk about all the internal hardware you know. A device which carries out system instruction. The keyword here is system instruction. The device the internal hardware which actually carries out system instruction, what do we call it? We call it CPU, and that's central processing unit. Don't forget that. Now, another one, the keyword here is circuit board. The circuit board which connects main components of a computer system. Then from the picture, you can even guess the name. We call this one motherboard. Then another one, this picture. Have you ever seen this picture before? If you have, what is it? Definitely, this is a device which enables a computer to process and display graphics. We call this one graphic video card. Now, why about this? If that one is all about graphics, then this one is all about sound. So it is a device which enables computer to input, process, and deliver sound. We call it sound card. Then in the same way, you will have seen this kind of picture before. So this and hardware is an internal hardware as well. So which we use to store information. Definitely this one is internal hard disk. Now, why about this? Any data or instruction which are to be processed by the CPU must be placed inside main memory. So we actually call this one computer memory. And second to the last, so it provides the computer with a network. Immediately you say network, then you should know this is a network card. And finally, so it's an optical disk drive, allows optical disk to run on the computer system. So it can use CD, DVD, or Blu-ray. Definitely we call this one CD drive. Now, if you don't understand all this, let's move on. I have one simple activity for you here, and this actually want to teach you the difference between RAM and ROM, the difference between random access memory and read-only memory. So random access memory, basically data stored in RAM get deleted when the computer is turned off. Yes. Whenever all the data that are stored inside the RAM, immediately you turn off your computer, all those data will wipe away. They will be deleted. All right. Then it is non-volatile. No, it is volatile. Why do we say it's volatile? Because it's temporary stored data. When you turn off your computer, all the data will be wiped away. It temporarily stored data. That's why we say it is volatile. So then it stores programs currently running in the computer system. So if anyone asks you what is RAM, then you will say that RAM, they actually store data, they temporarily store data. That's one. Number two, it stores programs which are currently running in your computer system. Number three, whenever you turn off your computer, all the data in the RAM, they will be wiped away. These are the three things you're supposed to know about RAM. Now, the opposite of RAM is ROM, read-only memory. You know, this one is random access memory, while this one is read-only memory. From here, this one is is non-volatile. Why do we say it's non-volatile? Because it permanently stored data. All right. Then data stored in the ROM remains even when the computer is turned off. Then it stores startup instruction. These are the three things that are correct about ROM. So don't forget that. All right. Now, from here, the physical component of a computer system, we just talked about that earlier. These are past year questions. I took all these questions from past year paper from a Cambridge exam. All right. Now, the physical component of a computer system, yes, these are called hardware. The program, immediately you see the program, then you should know this is software. The device used to input sound. You can see input sound. So this is microphone. Why the last one, the keyword there is stored data. Then it is hard disk. Check. Let's move on. From here, a company is setting up a video conference. Name 3 computer hardware devices they will need. What are the things? If you want to set up video conferences, what are the 3 hardware devices do you think you will need? For sure, you will need speaker, you will need projector, you will need microphone. Joystick? No, you don't need joystick. Joystick normally is for gamers, those who used to play games, okay? Now, let's move on. This is another past year questions. This one says there are a number of different internal hardware devices. Write down the most appropriate type of internal hardware that fits the following descriptions. A volatile device. Immediately you see volatile device, you should know that one is RAM. We just talked about it earlier. Then this is the main printed circuit board. Then this is motherboard. We just talked about it a few seconds ago. This one says non-volatile chips. Non-volatile, then that is read-only memory. It's the opposite of RAM. And finally, electronic device which provide the computer with ability to produce sound. That is sound card. You see how Cambridge normally asks their question. Okay, let's look at another question. This one says, write down the most appropriate item of internal hardware to match the description. This one handles all the system instruction. What are all the system instructions? Then definitely that is CPU, is the one that handles all the system instruction. Printed circuit board, that's motherboard. Then generate output to the speaker. Definitely that is sound card. Immediately you hear anything about sound is sound card. This one, types of memory where data is lost. Then that is RAM. And finally, the last one, image to display on the monitor, and that is video card. That's video card. Excellent. Now, if you understand that, let's quickly move to something else. Yeah, that's all about hardware. So it's not something so much, just very simple lesson you're supposed to know. And that's how Cambridge normally asks questions as far as hardware is concerned. Now let's move to software. Software, these are set of instructions runs in a computer system, or if you don't want to say that, you can say that software are programs which actually control computer system. So I give you two definitions. You can say any of the two. However, the keyword here is instruction. These are set of instructions. And if you want to say the keyword here is program. All right. Now, let's look at something else. We do have two types of software. The software which are designed to allow users to complete specific tasks. So this kind of software, we call it application software. Application software are the software you normally download on your laptops, even on your phone. You say, I want to install apps on my phone. All those one, we call it application software. However, number two, we call it system software. System software, what are they? System software are the software which control hardware. The software that actually control mouse, we call it system software. The software which control projector, we call it system software. The software which control keyboard, we call it system. Any software which can control another hardware, we call it system software. But any software which can only do few things, it can, you can use it for specific tasks. If I want to browse anything on the internet, I will use Google Chrome. We call it application software. If I want to, create some images or edit some images, I use Photoshop. I can only use it for specific tasks. We call all those one application software. So try to know the difference between system software and application software. Now, let me quickly give you these different types of system software we have. We have 5 types. The first one, the software which control hardware devices. The software which control hardware devices, we call it operating system. Don't forget, it's control. The keyword here is control hardware devices is operating system. The software which helps two hardware to share resources. So we call it driver. Then antivirus, or you say antivirus, is an example of utility software. Then lastly, or second to the last, is a software which combines objects. Then you can easily say that one is linker, and the last one is compiler. So if anyone asks you now that what are the 5 different types of system software we have, you will say operating system, device driver, utility software, linkers, and compiler. Just write it down. Don't forget all these 5 different types of system software. And what do they do? What do we use them for? So just try to go through all this. Now, let's look at another activity. I have one activity for you here which says, which of the following statements are correct? Software are programs run in a computer system. Yes, this is correct. These are programs. Then examples of software is Microsoft Word. Yes. Computers consist of hardware and software. Exactly. Examples of hardware is Microsoft Word. No, hardware, Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a software. It's not an hardware. So if you check it now, these are the 3 things that are correct about in this question. Then this one says choose correct answers from the following. RAM allows the user to read and write. Yes. ROM is a real optical memory. This is not correct. ROM is read-only memory. Then this one says RAM stores the instructions you are currently working on. Yes. Then ROM stores the BIOS. Yes. BIOS means startup instructions. I just explained that one few seconds ago. All right. These are the 3 things that are correct here. All these one are past year question. I tell you. So these are Cambridge past year question, but we try to make it as interactive as possible so that it can be easy for you to learn. Now, I have another drag and drop for you here. We just talked about application software and system software. I told you that we have millions of application software, but system software, we have only 5. So compiler is a system software. Linker is a system software. Operating system is a system software. Then device driver is a system software, and utility software is a system software. So any other thing other than these five are application software. I think let's headache because it's it's not possible for you to know all the millions of application software we have. But in as much as you know the system software, any other thing is an application software. Very easy to know. All right. Now let's look at something else. This one says software is designed to manage computer hardware. Computer hardware. Which kind of software is that? Which is designed to manage computer hardware. That is system software. Software examples, dash software examples include word processing and spreadsheet. So definitely that one is application software. Now, dash produces output in form of hard copy. It produces output in form of hard copy. That should be a printer because when you print something, you are going to print a paper. That's an hard copy. Then it converts high level language. High level language. You see how Cambridge asks their question? They don't actually ask you what is a compiler. Look at the way they ask. Then an electronic device that plugs into a computer and contains the key for a piece of software is called a dongle. We call it a dongle. All right, so don't forget this. Then another one says the scrambling of data is known as, of course, this one is an encryption. And this one says a security process that uses photons to enable secure communication. That should be quantum cryptography. And finally, the last one, of course, that should be the pin, right? That's the pin. Okay, then let's say, yeah, everything is correct. And let's look at another question. The CPU is stored on hard disk. No, CPU is stored on hard disk. So then the control unit is part of the CPU. That's correct. So the touch screen can be an input device and an output device. Yeah, that's correct as well. Now, another question. The last part of chapter 1, it actually talks about analog and digital data. You need to know this. This is the last aspect of your chapter 1. Your syllabus says you need to know what is called analog data and you need to know what is called digital data. Analog data is the data that is represented in a physical way. Example is the way I'm talking now, I'm actually producing analog data. All right. The analog data are recorded by analog devices such as microphones, speakers, sensor, all of them are analog data. Then digital data is the data represented in zeros and one, and only computers actually understand digital data. These are the things you need to know. Now, the need to convert. Why do we need to convert? Analog to digital data. So we need to convert this so that it can be processed by computer. And we need to convert digital to analog so that it can be used to control devices. All right, try to study this. So it's self-explanatory. And last thing you need to know here is to compare what do we call analog and digital. When we say analog, the data is continuous. Why when we say digital data is non-continuous? So it records sounds waves as they are. It converts sound into binary. Yes. Then this one sensor is an example and computer is an example. So when you check this, you see everything is correct. So basically, if somebody asks you what are the differences between analog and digital, you just need to say all these 3 points, okay? You need to say all these 3 points. And I believe that's the end of this lesson. Then if you want to have access to this material, you can actually visit our website, www.edubbey.com. So you can have access to this interactive content. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you again